Here it
Okay,
is.
you pulled it up. Okay.
The Democrats aren't bad at politics. Their politics are bad. Well, they're bad at politics too. But
Yeah,
I
it's like
saw
thanks,
this.
Captain Obvious. Like,
I saw
yeah,
this one. I was like, this is just nah. Look, they've accounted. So this again is along on the lines of thanks, Uncle Joe. Um,
yeah,
transformative year agenda in the first year. It's been a complete disaster, as we know. They haven't gotten any of their agenda accomplished, even though they have a majority in the House and the Senate, and they can't seem to get the rotating villain under control, whether that's the parliamentarian or Joe Manchin or the squad voting no on the Israel thing or my God.
now it's hamsters.
Sheesh.
Hamsters are the new enemy.
Like
Like,
this is the weekend. Like January 21st was inauguration day last year, right? So it's been exactly now 1 year. So here we go.
1 year.
1 year in, right? So the gap between their campaign promises and their actions could not be more stark. And we've seen some crazy lists out there of what they've actually delivered versus what they haven't, other than some rhetoric and
like what they promised in the first year, right?
right, and what the rhetoric of nothing fundamentally changing, which is actually what really they did deliver on. But
Yes.
But the latest vote of the agenda came, of course, when the rotating villains of the week effectively torpedoed the voting rights legislation by making it have to go to 60 votes. And of course, they have no Republican votes. And everyone wants to yell, how come you're not pointing out the Republicans won't support any of this? Because they never have, and that's always been the given. It's just like we expect that they're going to not go along with any of this stuff and that they're going to be obstructionists. That's kind of what they do. So it's pretty rough. So Democrats' year-long failed streak of legislation is all the more jarring when recalling the chorus of voices claiming that he'd be the most transformative president in the past 50 years. The FDR, right? $15 minimum wage, and where's our public option, which would have sucked anyway. I didn't really want a public option. Student debt forgiveness, $10,000 or more. We talk about that every week. Actually, there was another thing this week about student debt forgiveness and how much it would have really helped or made a big difference. Look, he's still got a year. That's a Hail Mary he could throw at any moment if he really thinks that the Democrats are really going to get shellacked, which they are, dude. Guy, do it.
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose at this point. All right, his supposedly transformativeness was even used as a cudgel against the left, with pundits claiming that Biden, unlike leftists, had a winning strategy for progressive change.
Hey, Fat, I'm not that socialist. I beat that guy. Like,
right?
Okay.
Right. So many of these transformative campaign promises have been watered down beyond recognition. So now $1,400 equals $2,000, and where's the $1,500? The $15. Actually, he did, and I do want to give credit, and I did want to make a point that $15 minimum wage federally did go into effect, or does go into effect this week, and it does impact. I think it's 700,000 federal employees are getting a raise this week. So you know what? Credit where it's due, and that really does materially help people's lives, and that helps. And this is the kind of stuff we're talking about. And of course, 15 is what we needed 6 years ago, but it helps. Okay,
Florida
and
just got it where it's going to be like 3 years from now. We'll have $15.
Here you go. We even called Left Voice. Otto talks about the rotating villains. Big fan of this publication. Support Left Voice if you can. All right, Elizabeth McDonough. That's the parliamentarian. You know what? I've only heard her, referred to, but guess what her name is? Didn't you elect her? I know I elected her. She ran a really strong campaign for parliamentarian.
Yeah, I mean, because I've ever heard of the parliamentarian as a problem until now.
2001.
It's never right.
2001. The parliamentarian said the prescription drug plan, the Part D prescription drug plan, was not going to fit with the budget. And what they do, they fired the parliamentarian and replaced him with somebody that would.
Yep.
So progressives and even leftists lament the Democrats' poor political acumen, questioning why they simply don't, for example, ignore the parliamentarians' rulings, right? Why? Because they're neither bad at politics nor hapless victims. This is what they're doing. That their goal is to uphold capitalism and maintain capitalist society.
Our
Right?
founding fathers made sure that we had the parliamentarian to keep progress from moving forward. So, we have to respect their constitutional wishes.
Didn't we like set up a whole system to avoid a parliamentary system like they had?
Something like that.
It's kind of
Something
funny,
like some checks and balances, almost something.
you know.
You know, 3 branches of government, and
They united to block Bernie from clinching the nomination, of course. Stop India Walton and Nina Turner. Stopping the progressive campaigns and moving them to pragmatic progressives. Right. India Walton, she lost, right? She lost the Buffalo mayor to the incumbent who ran an independent campaign against her, if I remember correctly. The Democrats did not really support India Walton, or the ones who did. Remember, that's right, Chuck Schumer gave her the endorsement. He gave her the kiss of death and made her a corporate Democrat.
Yeah.
And then the corporate Democrat steamrolled her, because between a corporate Democrat and a corporate Democrat, they might as well choose the corporatist, the better corporatist. Biden administration had no problem continuing, even expanding inhumane Trump-era immigration policies. Right, remain in Mexico hasn't changed. All migrants from the Western Hemisphere are now forced to stay in Mexico pending approval, and he's now been deporting people that are requesting asylum. It's just nothing would fundamentally change, and we cannot be under the illusion that the solution to this inaction and ostensible gridlock is to vote harder for Democrats. Boom. I like this guy.
Harder.
Vote harder. Yeah, we must also refuse to put our faith in this undemocratic system, one where senators can single-handedly torpedo legislation that the majority of the population supports. Right. Sure. Filibuster reform. I mean, how many times have we seen legislation torpedoed by one vote? I mean, look, to all his credit, John McCain, he got to do the thumbs down thing with the healthcare. I mean, It wouldn't have been the way we liked it, but this is what we're talking about, was, governing by majority rule or by 60 vote supermajority, which is what they've required, and nothing passes because nothing gets 60 votes anymore.
Right.
So we got a broken system. What are we going to do?